Want to see how easy it is to go from this to this? Let me show you. Hi, welcome to the Creative Nest. I'm Catherine. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will share with you how easy it is to take a jeans pants and turn it into the pants that you see me wearing. So if that is something that you are interested in, then keep on watching. This is my fabric, and it's a woven fabric. I'm going to test this out. So this is going to be my first trial run. And I have my pants. I'm using this jeans as a template. And because the jeans is short, I'm going to add 2 inches to it. And what I'm going to do is, with my chalk, I'm going to trace around it. So I'm going to put a line here. This is where my top, the back of my pants, is going to start. And because we're doing the front first, notice I'm not going to go here. I'm just going to go where it ends. So it ends right here, and I'm going to put a line there. And because this is a woven fabric, I am going to use my hip measurement. And so my hip is 10.5, and I'm going to add an inch to that. So this is where my 10.5 is. I'm going to add an inch to that, and I'm going to follow that curve down until I get into the crotch line. And when I get into the crotch line, I'm going to add an inch there, and then I'm going to bring it down. This is where my shorts ends, but this is where my short ends. But like I said, I'm going to add 2 inches because this is short. And so I'm going to add a few inches, which is 2 inches. And then I'm going to have a 2-inch hemline. Once I got to the crotch line, I extended that line. I don't want it tight. I'm going to add 1.5 inches to my piece because I don't want my pants to be tight. I'm going to extend this line up to where the back of the pants will be. So I'm going to cut it out. Well, let me cut that in half first. So these are our 2 front pieces, and I'm going to put them right sides facing. That way I can stitch that. Now I'm going to cut the back. I'm going to make sure that it is bigger to accommodate the butt area. I'm going to switch it so that you can see the back outline better. So all I did was put the leg inside itself. And the same thing we did to the front is what we're going to do to the back. This is where the back is. I'm going to put a line there. Notice how the back is much higher than the front. So I'm going to put a line there. For the back front, we went down 2 inches. So we're going to go down the same 2 inches for the back. On the waistline, I'm going to measure. My hip is 10.5. And I'm going to add an inch. So that's 11.5. I'm going to add 2 inches. But what I should have done, oh Lord, I should have added 2 inches for the front, but I didn't. So now to accommodate that, I'm going to add 3 inches for the back, because I was supposed to add 2 inches to the front and I didn't. I don't want it to be tight in the crotch area. So I'm going to come out 3 inches to make up for what I did not do in the front. And I'm just going to create a curve. I'm going to go up with this line, and then I'm going to take that line and bring it into. All right, so you can now see the curve. From this line, I'm going to slant it. That. All right, so hopefully you could see what I did. And now we can cut it out. We have our 2 back pieces. The next thing that I'm going to do is cut out the waistband. The waistband, we're going to use our hip measurement. My waistband is going to be 2 inches. So I'm going to cut out 5 inches. Let me create a straight line first. My hip is 42, so I'm going to add 2 inches to that, so it's 44 divided by 2 is 22. I'm going to do 5 inches. When I attach it, it will be to the length that I want. I can cut it out, and then we will have all our pieces. Have our waistband, 2 back pieces. Well, that was the 2 front pieces, and these are the 2 back pieces. Now we can begin to put it together. The first thing that I'm going to do is pin my 2 back pieces together as well as my 2 front pieces. I'm going to stitch using a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and then once I'm done with that, I will come and tell you the next step. Back stitch at the beginning and at the end. Now that we have both of our front and backs stitched, we're going to place front and back together at the side seam. So we're going to pin this down. When you get to the crotch seams or the inner seams, make sure you open it up the seam, and then you're going to pin that all around. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to sew it, and then when I finish, I'll show you the next step. Okay, so this is the point where I am at now. I finished sewing my side seams. I sewed my inner seams, and I also hemmed my pants. Now I know initially I said 2 inches, but I used 1 because it would be too short if I sewed it at the 2 inches. Oh, I also tried on my pants as well, and I like how it fits. All right, so I'm going to just measure what I have on my waist. So just keep measuring until you get back to that side seam. So I have 39.5. Right, so 39.5. Let's find the midway point. All right, so that's 19.75, and so that is what I'm going to cut. So 19.75, which is right here. So I'm going to sew on this line, and then what I'm going to do after I finish that, I'm going to fold this in half, and then I'm going to quarter it, and I'm going to add it to my pants. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to measure my elastic, and this is the elastic that I have, and it's a 2-inch elastic. So all you're going to do is put this around your waist, and where it is the most comfortable without being too tight, you're going to cut that to your size. And then when you attach your waistband to your pants, you're going to leave about a 2-inch gap. That way you can feed your elastic into it. And then when I'm done with that, I will show you probably the completed pants, because that's the only thing we have to do. Don't you just love when something just works out? And that is how I feel about this pants. I think the pants turned out oh so well. Okay, so this is the front of the pants. I'm going to try not to flash y'all. This is the front of the pants. And notice no, what you call this? No lines, no excess fabric, none of that. Perfect fit. And this is the back of the pants. Only thing missing from this pants is some pockets. I wish I would have done some pockets, but next time. And plus I didn't have that much fabric anyway. So this was from this was scrap fabric that I had lying around from a top that you would have seen me in one of my videos in my fabric haul. I probably would link that video in the description below. So if you like seeing this type of stuff on my channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Come and join this beautiful family. We would love to have you over here. I will see you in the next video. Be blessed. Bye.